Well, hello, my beautiful Pisces. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for September 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, I've just brought back the competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So with that in mind, let's get straight to your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Pisces, this is your monthly reading for September. I can't believe we're here already, but here we are. And let's just say, hold on to your hats because astrologically, we have a lot going on. It's a very unique month indeed. Eclipse season is upon us, so things may get a little bit wild. Not one, but two eclipses occur this month, plus we also have a second new moon, often called a black moon, which will occur in the sign of Virgo, a Virgo portal, if you will, which is also very unusual. But it also coincides with a partial solar eclipse. I mean, of course it does. I mean, that is a lot that's going on, so let's unpack this. Now, eclipses disrupt the natural order of things and are often perceived as harbingers of change, offering you pivotal opportunities to contemplate radically new directions, hatch new plans, set new goals, or even make new promises to yourself and really keep those promises too. Now, partnered with the fact that we have officially moved into the sign of Virgo, consider September a quality control month where you cast a meticulous eye over your life path, refine or even redefine plans with a very sharp mind, spotting anything that does not meet your expectations. Holding yourself to higher standards is what this month is all about. Decluttering, reorganizing, methodically completing very complex tasks, whilst at the same time making space for hard-earned rewards, plus scheduling in quirky fun times and even quenching a thirst for knowledge, which may see you scrolling or even enrolling on workshops, classes, forums, or learning new skills. Oh, and of course, you will be staying on top of your health goals as well. Whew, it is a lot. Virgo season pushes us to the max, so this month it could leave you feeling absolutely exhilarated, but also needing a well-earned massage on a secluded beach with an iced beverage of choice and your do not disturb sign on. I mean, if only. But at least you'll be proud that your super productivity will have ticked off a lot from your to-do list, awarding you with a sense of achievement. Now, back to those eclipses, because they are important. A full blood moon eclipse occurs on the 7th or the 8th, depending on your time zone. And of course, this will affect you the most because it is in your sign, my beautiful Pisceans. Now, full moons, they offer closure, forgiveness, and an opportunity to really release and let go. But partnered with an eclipse, You might just slam that door to the past, lock it, and throw away the key. Emotions run very high during this time, so you may feel a little bit more sensitive than usual, but your soul knows what you finally need to let go of, and you owe it to yourself to set yourself free. Now, the blood moon encourages you to do the shadow work, to really assess, deep dive, and release challenging emotions. And if you felt like you've been drifting for the last couple of months or years, this is a problem-solving influence from that Virgonian energy. It helps you to get structured and back on track. Be mindful, this month eclipses can amplify anxiety or give a platform to your inner critic. So remember that this too shall pass. Be compassionate with your wonderful self. Also, animals, and you actually have the animals card right here as well. They tend to become a little bit anxious or unsettled during eclipses too. We all feel the effects. So extra cuddles for pets will be important as well. Now, what's wonderful about this lunar eclipse, and this will affect you the most, my beautiful Pisceans, is it trines Jupiter, planet of good luck, opportunity, and expansion. So expect positive results or outcomes on things that you've worked hard for or invested your time in. Saturn also returns to your sign. Okay, it's currently retrograding, but it will dip back into your sign momentarily, of course. It'll happen this month too, so you may revisit and breathe new life into all projects. Karmically, any unresolved issues are reviewed. But as this is a problem-solving time, purifying and starting with a clean slate will be happening there too. Also, you may feel like detoxifying. As I said, this is a period that will affect you the most. If you want to change your life in some way, this is the perfect month to lead positively with intention, as manifestation frequencies are super high. Now, we also have a partial solar eclipse on the 21st or the 22nd, depending on where you reside in which hemisphere. It coincides with the black new moon in Virgo. Now, I have to give you this one straight, okay? This eclipse is not as positive as the one that's in your sign, okay? That doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. It's not going to play nice. However, it may raise some tensions collectively, which is why structure will be the key to managing September. So things like plot twists, someone canceling on you, rescheduling, maybe something coming in last minute that you have to work on, things like that. So expect that sort of thing at the end of the month. Now, in terms of global events, and please fast forward this part if you really don't wish to hear it, this is a pivotal shift month. We may witness an economical wobble, which harvests very serious conversations around global bankruptcy and draconian ways to replenish governmental purses. Now, as I mentioned before, eclipses are harbingers of change, and these particular eclipses will really steal the show. Now, in ancient times, a blood moon eclipse symbolized the fall of a king, a leader, or someone of great influence. So we may see headlining news around this, or even their substitute or body double. My guides really gave me an energy of body double, if that makes sense. So let's look out for that and see what happens there. And we'll certainly continue to see shocking exposés centered around public figures during this time as their hidden dark side comes to light, questioning their position of influence or authority. Now, solar eclipses in particular were often interpreted as causing anger, conflict, and uprising. So we may see growing tensions rise globally as people seek to be heard and represented fairly. And of course, eclipses tend to affect nature in very extreme ways. And we're already witnessing amplified shifts. This month could see things reaching a very critical point. We could see fiery seismic shifts amplifying water-related events. I mean, a lot of the seismic shifts already have been like 5 point something and above, and we're going to see more of that. I don't like to give that message, but that's coming through there very strongly. And as eclipses occur in both your sign, my beautiful Pisces, and Virgo, water and earth, these are the elements that will be affected the most during this period. We may also see conversations directed at shaking up healthcare systems and implementing new protocols. So that's positive. Also, we will have some critical debates around unemployment and the advancement of AI or replacement technology. This will hit the headlines from this month on. of course, and we'll see that for the next couple of years as well, highlighting what a future could look like if technology becomes more celebrated than human talent. Now, this is a critical fork in the road position, shall we say. So at least we have an opportunity to debate it now. We can work in partnership and tandem with technology, but it must not, of course, become more celebrated than human talent, because that is dangerous territory, shall we say. So at least the debate will be out there. And there's so many layers to life and energy. There's global energy and all the things that are affecting the world that is going on at the moment, of course, and there's personal energy, things within yourself that you're tapping into at this time. And K2 is in the sign of Leo this month, which works really hard for you to receive recognition and gain for past efforts. And remember, Jupiter is cheerleading for you on the sidelines, sending extra luck your way, willing you to win, and sending extra benevolence until it retrogrades on the 11th of November. So whilst it may feel like things are falling apart, it is here that things fall back together and come back together stronger than ever before. It's a perfect month to refine or introduce rituals where you raise your vibrations. Virgonian frequencies encourage you to be in service, firstly to yourself, then to those that you hold dear, and of course then to the world at large. I mean, we can all do our bit to send or spread love and positivity. And I always say, wherever you may be the soul of that place. Be present, shine your light. It starts with the self first, and it emanates outwards. Easier said than done, I know. It's a very challenging time. There's a lot of pressure on, but this is a period that is critical. So light that candle, play that favorite song of yours, raise your vibrations, connect to nature. We are all one, and those who seek to divide shall not succeed. Okay, so let's get to your energy and see what's going on. We have companionship, animals. I'm not surprised to see this card, actually, because your 7th house is influencing you at the end of the month, and that's all about relationships. That's about partnerships, people in your everyday circumstances. But also this can be your familiars, can be your animals, your pets. You may actually find that animals are really drawn to you over the month ahead. But this is more about your instincts, okay? When you have this card, this is about tapping into your superpower, your knowingness, your frequency of connection to your higher self, let's say it that way. This is about you kind of recognizing what you're really good at and, you know, your skill set, finding your superpower and literally exercising it, taking time out to share your gifts, your talents, either through your career or through your soul tribe group, you know, communities, getting involved in your community or some sort of hobby or activity during this time. This is about being part of something. And it's also about, you know, you being a humanitarian, as it were, doing your bit to help the environment or people around you. That can manifest in many different forms. It can be literally that you're trying to clean up your neighborhood, or it can be that you are trying to, you know, give money to charity, or it can be that you're just trying to raise your vibrations and be in service to help people around you. Be there for people, be a companion, a good friend. So there's many layers that we can help out in some way, and I feel like you're here for it. There's number 21 there, which is a world card energy. So I feel on a personal level, this is about you being very productive, being instinctive, very much sharing your gifts and making an advancement in projects and career opportunities, so that you can have rest. I feel like you're going to be super busy. I feel like you are utilizing all the different skills that perhaps animals have at best. So for example, a giraffe, this is about you focusing on your long-term aspirations, seeing the future, your vision of the future, aligning yourself with a path of opportunity, seeing the pitfalls ahead of time, you know, so you can avoid those things. If you think about, for example, a rabbit, I did feel a rabbit energy here. I was like, where's the rabbit? A rabbit is about multiplying wealth. It's about being lucky. If you think about the wolf there, that's about finding your path. It's about, you know, you going off and being very independent, but also coming back and spending time with your nearest and dearest, your pack, as it were. If you think about the birds, that's all about your community, spending time. It's all aspects of self. Horses are loyal. It's about going the distance. It's about being unstoppable in your energy. And of course, a fox is very clever. And, you know, there's just a lot going on in this card. Also, we've got a wonderful chameleon there. So adapting to your circumstances. I feel like you are equipped with all the necessary tools in life. Everything is within you to navigate your way forward this month. And I feel like you're thinking about your short-term goals as well, but they're merging into two. So I feel like you are going to be super productive because, of course, number 21 is the world energy, which means you're doing it all. Okay. And I feel like you're in the flow of making it happen. And there's a lot of success here. I mean, Two of Pentacles indicates multitasking, balancing things out, making sure that you don't burn the candle at both ends. It also indicates that, you know, working hard, playing hard, both of those things are very important. Also being adaptable there, doing something that you love, but also being serious about what it is that you do. Eight of Pentacles is working really hard, focusing on your tasks, responsibilities, basically keeping your life running smoothly, staying on top of bills, focusing on goals, and perhaps even trying to, you know, implement new money-making ideas. Some of you may even decide to declutter your home because of that Virgonian influence during the season and sell pre-loved goods. So you have more money in your pocket, but at the same time, you know, you are creating space for yourself or for new items to come on in there as well. But we have the Strength card. So out of all the animals that are there, you've also got a lion. So this is about you having all this skill set, but it's encompassed in all of you. Okay, this is about you taking ownership, leadership of your life, being bold and daring, leading with your heart, and having the courage to perhaps do something that other people only dream of doing. You know, you are the dreamer. And I always say that, you know, whenever it says, oh, don't be a dreamer, or, you know, you got to put those dreams into action, you're the sort of person who does both. You know, dreaming or visualizing is the first step to manifesting. Okay, you know, whenever I think about the times that I was in class when I was younger and I'd be looking out the window, you know, I would have lots of visions and I didn't understand what this was. I thought everybody had that. I thought everybody was like having all of these flashes of things that were, you know, sometimes coming true and sometimes not. They were just visions, you know, and, you know, sometimes the teacher would be like, hey, back in the room. And I'm like, oh, like, and they'd get me to read the next passage in the book. And I was like, oh, I don't know where I am. You know, and all these things that I was visualizing were happening. Most of them were happening, or these visualizations of what I wanted for the future actually started to come true later on in life. I didn't know what I was experiencing then was about to occur for me. But, you know, thoughts become things. And it's important to be a dreamer. It's important to remember to visualize. And we have a lot of responsibility in our world at the moment on so many levels. And of course, the pressure is on. You're busy. You're trying to make life work. It's really hard. You're showing up for yourself. You're bringing your A game and you're doing a lot of things. Okay. And it requires a lot of you to lead in your life and to show up. And sometimes things don't go well. Sometimes things go really well. So I feel like you're navigating a lot right now. You're under a lot of pressure. Don't forget your superpower, which is to visualize and dream. Take some time out, you know, even if it's 10 minutes, to just pause and really see a vision of what you want for your future, because manifestation is so important, okay? Visualizing, being that dreamer, that is your superpower, okay? You came to this lifetime a deep feeling individual. If anyone says that you're too emotional, you're too much, you know, your ideas and your dreams are just too out there, that just means that they don't feel, you know, adequate to walk by your side, or they do not feel enough for you, or maybe they're just not enough for you. So, you know, I feel this is something you need to be aware of in terms of your perspective. But the Strength card is you're one tough cookie, okay? And I feel like you are marching through this month, getting a lot done. I feel like you're aware that you have a lot on your plate. I feel like you're being very organized, structured, productive, and serious, okay? And you've got your eyes locked onto something as a prize, and you're going to make it happen, okay? Now, the Strength card can indicate that you're overcoming an obstacle, okay? And you're intuitively doing it because we have a Five of Swords there. A lot of you, because of this Virgonian energy, this could be that you're conquering the inner critic. You're about to do something monumental, and that's when the doubt creeps in, or the inner critic says, well, what if you fail? Well, what if you fly? What if you're more successful than you could ever imagine, you know? And I feel this is about you going for something that is going to be hard work. I feel like you're not afraid of that, and I feel it's something that's going to help you advance in great ways. I mean, this month, it really feels like you are kind of like prioritizing your own needs as well, because your first house is influencing you. So that is about you like standing out from the crowd, okay? And I'm not surprised to see like this whole kind of menagerie of animals. There's just loads of animals there, right? This could be like a whole jungle of animals. And, you know, of course, all these animals do not exist in the same places in the world. But then you've got the one that really stands out, the one that, you know, really commands. And I feel this is about you really noticing that about yourself, you know, about your character, about your beauty, how you conduct yourself, you know, your heart space, your life philosophy. This is about you awakening to who you are and your infinite power. So, of course, there's many layers to the first house, which is influencing you at the beginning of the month, because, of course, we have the full moon in your sign. It's a full blood moon, okay? This can be that you're also looking at your shadows, because the eclipse is going to make you look at the darker side or your fears as well as your hopes. But this is about you looking at what makes you unique and stand out in your career or in your friendships or in your relationships. You know, of course, you blend in with your friendships. You fit in with your family, your soul tribe. But also, what's your special skill set? You know, you may be the person who is always on call to offer, you know, comfort and solace or healing. You may be that person who springs into action and just knows what to do whenever there is challenge. I don't see any challenge here. I want you to be aware of that. So this seems to be a pretty calm month. There's a lot of peace here. You have a yin-yang symbol. So it's all about balance. I feel the only kind of fly in the ointment could be some doubts or thoughts. Five of Swords is conflict or tension. So it can be that you're under a lot of pressure right now. And this is about you rising to an occasion in some way. I mean, you know, on a more kind of like surface level, the first house is going to help you be more flamboyant. You may suddenly treat yourself and purchase maybe a new item of clothing, revamping your wardrobe, and you may surprise yourself that it's more flamboyant or more colorful than usual. Or you may want something different or a little bit bold and daring and be like changing the color of your hair or changing the style or doing something that really kind of like makes you stand out, because people are going to notice you this month. And it's not that you're trying to be noticed. The lion is just the lion. The lion is like, you know what? I'm just being me. I'm just, you know, walking my path. And everybody else is like, oh, the lion. So I feel this is about you kind of like owning your territory and building your empire and being in command of, you know, your path ahead, taking ownership for your goals and really recognizing that you are a force to be reckoned with. So whatever it is that you are focusing on, because your first house will help you think about your body. So you may be thinking about being more active, focusing on, you know, new recipes, maybe even new ways of taking a route to work, for example. It could be that you are being more active. For some of you, this could also be that you're changing a beauty product, or you may even see that a beauty product is discontinued, but you find the equivalent that's even better. Okay, so that's coming out there as well. But also in terms of your career, this could be that you are walking a path that is challenging, that brings a lot of tension, but I feel like you're a pro at what you do. You're so good at what you do. And this is going to be a month where you're maintaining and sustaining, okay? Some of you may be offered a project where you have to go off and do something on your own. There's an energy here of taking leadership of like maybe a group of people. Perhaps you're already like in a managerial position and you're leading a team, for example. It's about keeping peace in the ranks. So you may have to deal with someone who perhaps has an issue, you know, and you kind of like need to see the bigger picture and not take sides and actually kind of offer some of advice, or you calm a situation at work. That's coming through there as well. You're the peacekeeper, but it's because you're pulling rank on something. So it could be that you're doing it diplomatically, but you're doing it truthfully as well. You're leading with compassion, but also with experience, knowledge, and power is what I'm seeing there. I mean, this is a month where there are things in the works for you. It just feels like you're maintaining and sustaining, but you are looking at long-term aspirations. You're looking to advance in some way. I mean, in terms of your finances, you're working really hard for your finances. You don't need me to tell you that. I already know that, looking at your Eight of Pentacles, and you already know that because you're doing the work. So this is about keeping your nose down, working, doing what you normally do. This is about structure. Okay, this is about some sort of repetitive cycle. So Eight of Pentacles is basically, you having the same amount of money coming on in. With that Two of Pentacles, you may be moving money around to pay bills, for example. You're staying on top of things like that. You have a financial strategy, you're sticking to it. I feel like you may think of like looking at new financial strategies in your future, but I feel what's tried and tested is working for you at this moment in time. You may implement new money-making ideas, however, because Two of Pentacles can be second streams of income. You may be launching something or have launched something and you're a little bit under pressure. You're wondering how it's going to go, but I feel like it's going to bring in a nice yield of money this month there. But it will staircase in the future. This is a month where things are ticking over for you, is what I'm seeing. But I feel like you will have enough, and you may actually reinvest in self, treating yourself, or, downloading a course of learning, or even just, investing in upskilling or honing a craft or skill in order to pave the way for future development and advancement. I see a lot of exciting things here for you because there's this energy of independence coming out. So if you're working in a career right now where you're like, okay, things are ticking over, it is kind of like the usual structure, you're doing what you're doing, there's this energy here of like, could you go out there and be your own boss and do what you do as a consultant or, run your own business? Well, the answer is yes. So some of you may be making those moves behind the scenes right now, or something that you're thinking about. And this is a month where you really create some sort of structure. Be mindful who you tell about this because people talk, okay? And there's an energy here of you telling someone, and perhaps someone kind of like telling someone else that they trust. It's like a breach of confidentiality, but they really believe that they can tell someone that they trust, but actually this person is not someone they can trust. And all of a sudden everybody knows that either you're going out on a limb, doing your own thing, becoming independent, or you put your resume out there. Whatever it is, just be mindful of who you tell about your future plans, okay? Because not everybody supports your future plans because they may be struggling themselves, or they may feel that they want a piece of the pie and they can't, have access to it at this time. Doesn't mean that they won't be successful in their own right later on. It just means whenever someone sees someone who's super successful, I mean, most of us are like, yay, someone who's successful. I really celebrate that. I love it. When I was in a different career many, many years ago, there was a lot of competition, and a lot of my friends were actually the competition, and I just celebrated them so much, and I was like raising them up, even to the point where when there was an opportunity that I thought, you know what, that doesn't really suit me, I don't have the skill set for that. I really want to have the skill set for that, but I will in the future, but not right now. I would pass it on to other peers who were like my competition because I just wanted everyone to win, and sometimes you'll come across a lot of people who just want you to win, and sometimes you'll come across someone who's like, I want that for me, that's mine, and they may block you because they're not happy with what they've got, or they want more, so I feel it's just important to remember, keep your plans on a down low right now until they're ready to reveal. Okay, now also some of you, if you're looking for a job, okay, if you're currently out of work and you're looking for an opportunity, I mean, looking at the energy, I do feel a lot of you are thinking about running your own show, as it were. At the end of the day, you're doing something independent in the meantime of waiting for an opportunity there. But I do see something coming on in here. I mean, with the Two of Pentacles, there's an energy of two. It's like one of them's unexpected though, and that seems to be the one you go for. Okay, two interviews coming on in here. I feel it's more of a standalone position. So it could be a managerial role. I'm not seeing the rank here. I got to be honest with you. I'm not seeing the rank here. What I'm seeing though is two opportunities. One comes in left field last minute. That's the one you seem to want to go for because it gives more money. But also, I do apologize for the rain. I mean, it's gone crazy. There's a lot of hailstones here at the minute. Hopefully it's not too loud on the microphone there. But I do see that the role you take, you really make it your own. You really stand out. It feels like a standalone position, or it commands a lot of respect. in this way, and I feel like you may set yourself apart quite quickly in this role where you will be elevated later on, okay? I feel like you staircase in this role, okay? That's coming through there very, very strongly. Oh my gosh, I may have to pause this reading for a bit because the rain is so crazy right now. Okay, my guys just said this too shall pass, so continue. So I will, of course, continue. So anyway, as I was saying, let's get back to the energy of the month ahead, whether you're in a career or not, because I feel like if you are in a role, you're just maintaining and sustaining, but there will be talk about opportunities opening up in the future to help you advance. But I feel like you're just staying on top of things right now. But you may actually do something where you like put yourself apart or you go above and beyond that helps you stand out in some way. But if you are searching for a role, there is 2 opportunities coming on in, and one of them, I just feel like it helps you to a point where in your future you will actually be able to then run your own job or run your own business from it. It gives you the skill set and the clients and the contacts to be able to do that. Okay, so that's coming through strongly. Now with the 5 of Swords, I would say a lot of you just be a little bit mindful of tension, pressure. I feel like you're trying to manage stress levels this month. When you have a 5 of Swords, this can be tension in your shoulder area, in your neck. Okay, so it can be that some of you will literally need a massage. But what's really interesting about a 5 of Swords is when life is kind of like comfortable, we rarely make any changes. We're like, okay, things are running as they should be. Let's just keep it that way. And it's about maintaining and sustaining. But I feel there's this little energy here where you're feeling there's a missing ingredient. When there is tension, that's when there is change, okay? We will step up and change things when we feel like it's time to move forward. So a lot of you are planning like something long-term, like leveling up. So it can be that you're planning to either be more nomadic in your career or your industry or move abroad or relocate. And it's almost like these changes that you have in your mind that you want to manifest and work towards, sometimes it can feel like a lot of pressure because it feels like a monumental shift, okay? But actually, this is going to work out really well for you. Sometimes when we take it step by step, it will just unfold. The path is going to be clear for you to move forward. There is also protection on this path, divine intervention. So you may be moving into uncharted territory, but it's the thought of it that makes you feel a little bit pressurized. But I would say things will go really well, really smoothly for you, so there is nothing to worry about. Okay, this is just the doubts creeping in because you're about to do something monumental that is going to be really successful there. And maybe people in the past have not been able to do it because, of course, there's a little skull there. I mean, there's a lot of skulls there. So this can be that if you've tried something before and it didn't work out or didn't go the way you'd hoped for, that could be haunting you in your energy. Like, what if it doesn't go the way I want? But actually, I feel like there's so much success here. This is you building something. For some of you, this could be you rebuilding at this time or recalibrating. But I feel it gives you this immense sense of peace and this sense of like relief that everything is going the way it should be. I feel like you are very productive and have a lot on your plate. And this is about you utilizing your time, setting yourself realistic deadlines. And, you know, I feel with that 5 of Swords energy, this is a card of like being afraid of failure. Sometimes it can like haunt us, but I feel like you're more powerful. You have infinite possibilities at hand to you. And I feel like you're being given the strength to move forward and face something that perhaps you've been a little bit worried about, because swords are all about the mind. And this can be there's a self-imposed restriction, or it can be that we perceive something fearful ahead. So we're protecting ourselves. But I feel like you're fearing the fear and doing it anyway. You know, if you look at this, it's like, okay, this is a card of fear or a card of things that have gone before that didn't work. And if you think about the nature of this, this could literally be all these people who feared the lion, right? But if you're changing your perspective, you are the lion. It's showing up in your perspective energy. So it tells me that you're doing something that other people fear to do or feel perhaps that you cannot do. They may have tried to advise you and say, oh, you can't do that. You know, People rarely succeed at that. So for example, if you want to be a performer, a musician, an artist, a writer, something that is unconventional, or maybe something where there's a lot of competition. I mean, there's a lot of competition in every industry right now. There may be some people trying to give their 2 cents, their advice, and it's coming from a good place because they are nervous for you or they feel like they couldn't do it. So they may say, oh my gosh, you want to be a musician? Well, it's challenging right now. Maybe you should think about doing something else to back it up. Or maybe you shouldn't go for that. You're like, you know what? Watch me. You are tenacious, you are ambitious, you are strong enough to take the journey that you feel is right for you. So I feel like you're going to have your work cut out for you. You know it's not going to be easy, but I feel like you are working really hard. And yes, there's going to be some ups and downs, but I feel like there is a wonderful energy here because things are going to develop in very unexpected ways for you this month. 2 of Pentacles indicates something comes in that, will bring you a lot of joy. Your efforts bring you joy when you get this card. One way or another, your dreams are going to be manifest in the material world, and you're going to be able to build from there. So something comes in that you're able to build upon from there. So I would say there's some sort of news there coming on in. Now, I feel like something that almost you don't want to celebrate because you're like, okay, this is like a monumental milestone, but I don't want to get too excited because there's still more to go. That's the energy I've got coming through for you right now. And, you could treat yourself a little bit because I can see, yes, there is a lot of success as you move forward there. And I do feel that you're building something that will be very rewarding in your future. You're learning as you go, but I feel like you will learn to reinvest in yourself and, celebrate yourself that actually you are doing a lot and there is a lot of success there waiting for you to just achieve it because you're on that course right now. Okay. When you get a 2 of Pentacles with an 8 of Pentacles, it means one way or another, things are going to develop for you in a really exciting way where everything comes together. And, 8 of Pentacles is you building financial future security there. It means that, you are investing in the now that will pay off in the future. Your future self will literally thank you for everything that you're doing this month. You're working really hard and, you're embracing the opportunity to go deeper or develop something and apply it to what you already know. And there you will find the accomplishment of your goal. You'll reach it. Okay. So it can be that you're also learning new skills. The first house can be like, what am I interested in? Really, what am I interested in? Not just what do I need to do, but what am I also interested in? Because that amplifies manifestation. 7th house, the universe sends people, opportunities, and pathways for you to connect to all the things that you want to do. Because 7th house is a connection energy, okay? It basically means that things will blossom for you when you connect to other people or connect to businesses or connect to like lines of inquiry, as it were, that can help you establish, a way forward. So that's going to help you as well. So for example, it's all about connection. It can be partnership. So if you've decided that you want to be a musician, for example, suddenly the universe sends you a manager into your life, or you go to a gig that you start talking to someone. They're like, oh, I'm a music producer. Yeah, I'd love to hear your stuff. That's the way of manifestation. And that's how things are going to work for you this month. Listen to yourself, what you feel like you want to connect to, and then go for it. The universe will take care of the rest. Now, of course, this is a big emotional month there for you. Deep dive emotionally. We have the lake. This is you seeing below the surface. All of your cards are saying, do a deep dive. Don't look at the surface. On the surface, there's always going to be fear. There's always going to be things that glitter that are not gold. But when you dig a little bit deeper, that's when you really get to the crux of things or get the information that you need. So this is about really honoring your emotions. Some of you have been running on empty or feeling numb, that you've been just showing up for life. You've been just on autopilot doing what you got to do. And I feel like some of you are trying to get away from that. So this could be that you're having a gear shift this month in order to connect to something later on in the year that helps you move out of a cycle of repeat or a routine. However, structure is going to work really well for you this particular month because this is a month where everything happens. Virgonian energy makes us focus on everything. We're always doing everything. Fingers in many pies. So I feel that's why you're very intuitive and instinctive and, prioritizing what's important. But this card, it's number 31. When you reduce it, 3 plus 1, of course, is 4, creating a solid foundation. And this is a card of basically saying, do not take the shallow alternative. As I mentioned, if you're looking for a job and you're out there trying to find an opportunity, there's two that come in. One is better than the other, okay? And I mean, it feels like one is more rewarding than the other. So you're taking the deep one, the one that's more rewarding. There's one that's just a no-brainer. It's for you. Also, for some of you, not all of you, of course, if you're, connected to opportunities in love, because there's a Two of Pentacles here, this can indicate that you will have options when it comes to love, that you will get to choose. You're not going to choose a person that you just look good with. You're going to choose a person that you can see a future with, someone you connect to on a different level, someone who bonds with your energy and your emotions, and you share future goals where you can build a life together, and walk this journey of life and love together. So you're going deeper, you're seeking greater meaning, and you're doing a deep dive emotionally. So this is a month where you kind of like go on a journey of discovery, because the first house is very philosophical. It says, who are you? What is your path? It says, what is the gateway to more for you? This is about you being real with yourself, having an awakening, unveiling the authentic truth of you. So I feel like there are going to be a lot of cathartic experiences for you. There is going to be a deep sensitivity to you as well. But also this card is about you kind of like seeing the bigger picture, taking time with a decision, not rushing into anything, not having a reactionary kind of reaction, shall we say, to fear or to something. So for example, if you're offered two things, your first option may be like, yeah, I'm going to go for this one. I'm going to be bold and daring. It may be like a calculated risk, and I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but I'm going to go for it. And then the little whispers of doubt is like, maybe take the safe route though, because what if it doesn't go well? What if, someone is better than you? Or what if you can't maintain and sustain this? Or what if there's going to be this inner battle, okay? So this is about you connecting to what you imagine your life to be and going for it, okay? Because it's not that we've just got one shot in life to go for what we want. The universe will always make sure we're on the path that we should be on. We have a pathway we have to navigate. And I feel this is about you honoring the fact that, you're reaching for something more in life. You're trying to upgrade your life in some way. So go for it. It is a calculated risk. Do your due diligence. You're very intelligent and, you have the talent and the smarts to back it up. So go for it. I feel like the outcome is going to be something that your future self really celebrates and is thankful for in this moment. Now, we do have a Six of Swords. It's really interesting because the Six of Swords with the lake, if you think about it, and I'm just thinking about it now, like Six of Swords is a rite of passage. You've been really tested recently, and you may have felt like withdrawing into self because things have been a lot. But there is divine intervention here for you. You are about to have a breakthrough where you're moving into uncharted territory, because that's what the Six of Swords means, but it's actually going to be better than you thought. Often when you're in a transition period, which is a gear shift in life, you may feel like everything is going wrong or everything is a lot of stress. It just feels like a lot. But the Six of Swords says, you're in a transition towards something greater. You've shifted your awareness. That's what's going on here. You are now tapping into your infinite possibilities and power, and, you're bringing the unknown to life, but it's what you truly desire. So I feel this is about you being guided towards calmer shores. And if you think about the journey, the boat has to take the journey. That's what a boat is all about. It's the journey. And, if you think about the lake, pretty deep. Oceans are deep. We never know what's lurking underneath the ocean, but we must trust that we are safe and secure on that journey because we're in the boat. We're on our way. You are safe and secure. You're navigating things. You're flexible. You're instinctive, and you're actually going to reach your destination. Destination is success. whatever success looks like for you. So this could be with health. It could be that, you're worried about something and you're seeing about it and they're digging a little bit deeper. They're not just looking at it from a surface level. They're going a little bit deeper there. There's that Two of Swords. You feel like at a stalemate. You feel like, you can't move forward. You need to take a break to consider your options. What if it goes well? What if it doesn't go well? You could be in like a crux position right now where you're unsure of how things are going to go. Same with career. It could be that you're reaching for something. You're not sure if it's going to work out. You may be going for tests. You may be getting new qualifications, certifications. You're reaching for something that you aspire to have in the future. But again, you're at that limbo position where you're unsure of how things are going to go. But looking at the energy, the Two of Pentacles is an energy that, it will develop in unexpected ways. However, it is really positive. It's connected more to what you want it to be. It's important to recognize balance is the key for everything. But the Eight of Pentacles is an energy where there is a positive outcome. Eight is often very positive. It means that there are limitless, opportunities or outcomes, because eight is connected to the sign of infinity. There's a reason for that. So this means, positive outcomes, things that you're waiting for or you're hoping to move forward on. You're going to see some indication over this month in particular that it's heading in a positive direction. However, there's still more to go, if that makes sense. So you haven't fully reached the final destination or the final news or the final point in September, but you're on your way. You're on the journey. Now, Six of Swords, if you're going through a test this month, you're going to pass it. Okay, I feel like things are going to go really well for you there. Also, if you have been going through a testing time, or your friendships have been changing, or something has been on your mind that is worrying you, because that's literally what this Five of Swords is. It's like worry, tension, something is bothering you, it's haunting you. Six of Swords is like, it's okay. You move through it. You're going to be fine. You're protected and directed. That's literally what this card means, okay? So I feel like there is something that is changing. It is necessary to change, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a situation at work, whether it's your neighborhood. Something is evolving, and you may not be down with it at first. You may be feeling a little bit like, even if a landlord comes in and says, actually, we're selling the property, and you may be like, what? This comes at a really bad time. Suddenly, you're having to relocate because this is a card of relocation. But actually, you may go to a nicer environment, one that's quieter, one that actually you can hear the birds, you can connect to nature, you can see a wonderful view. The sun is there. This person is facing the sun. She's on a swing. She's enjoying herself. So it can be there's a lighter energy. Suddenly, you realize that this big change that you had to face head on actually brings you to a position where there's peace, relief, where you feel a lot more playful, where you can actually have more fun for you. So for a lot of you, this can be that you are also, on top of your goals. You're being very productive because you have a vacation coming up and you're trying to tie up loose ends. Some of you could literally be relocating and you could be worried about the new neighborhood that you're going to. Will you fit in? Is it going to be too quiet? Is it going to be harder to travel to work, or can you work from home? There may be a lot of questions going on right now for you, but when you get there, you'll know that actually it was the best decision you made. You're making really good decisions for yourself right now. You're showing up, you're bringing your A game, and actually you are very powerful, and you reach your destination that brings you to a point that is a positive conclusion. So whether it is a test, whether it is, news that you're waiting for, whether it is you relocating, some of you are maybe thinking about retirement. You may be instinctively trying to work out the best time to retire. You may be worried because, of course, economically things are a little bit volatile right now, but you make the right decision, and you could be moving into retirement. You could be thinking about doing it in September, and there is this energy of a little bit of delay, so you may do it as you move into October for some of you, or it could be that you're making the decision to retire even next year, because there's an energy of like the world and completion cycle. So it could be that you're thinking about retiring next year. You're worried about it, anxious about it, but actually you're going to love it. There's more time for you. You get to be more flexible. It brings you peace of mind. This is a peace symbol. Okay, so your outcome, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, a lot of peace there, you're working really hard, and you're investing in yourself. This is a month to maintain and sustain. Two of Swords, if you have to make a decision, quiet time is important. The answer is within you, okay? And I feel this is about you protecting your inner peace. So some of you may even want to go off and like have a date night for yourself, or go off traveling somewhere, or take yourself to a gallery, or, take yourself off to something that really interests you. You may want to do that alone so that you can have that wonderful independent spirit, being curious there. But this card, something that you potentially could not see coming intuitively, you feel is coming. Okay, and this is change, because this is a card of change right now. So it feels like you are looking at the undercurrent of life. So this can manifest in many ways. This could be that you're having a conversation with a person and you're listening to what they're not saying more than anything. You're seeing, beneath the subtext. It can also be that, you're seeing people as they truly are, or you're seeing a neighborhood in a different way, or you're seeing your work in a different way, and you're looking at what is not being said, because intuitively your gut instinct is telling you something else is going on, and you're not to be paranoid about it. This instinct is there for a reason so that you can avoid it. So, for example, you may be kind of like witnessing redundancies in your working environment, and you may be feeling a bit worried, thinking, oh, okay, this could be something that's going on long term. And then suddenly they say, you know what, that's the end of it, it's fine, but actually it may not be the end of it. But looking at your energy, I feel like, you're protected in that position. So you may keep your position, okay, but on the down low, you may be looking for alternative opportunities because you feel that you want to be in a position to protect yourself. So you may set up a second stream of income, or you may be doing something creative on the side where you can earn some money. So this is an energy of you looking at the alternative because your instinct is telling you something that you need to kind of like prepare for, but not be paranoid about, because I feel like you're in a great position. Does that make sense? That's coming through very strongly. Now we have solitariness, desert. A lot of you, this is independence. So this could be that, if you've been living in your family home and there's a lot of you, a lot of energies, a lot of tension, for example, a lot of moments where, we love spending time with our soul tribe, but we don't always get on with them. Sometimes there can be a little bit of an argument or a little bit of conflict or people having differences of opinion. That's all fine. Everybody's allowed to have their perspective and opinion, and it doesn't necessarily have to align with yours. So it can be that if you're living under your parents' rules, for example, and now you are getting your own independent money and you are saving up for your own place, this could be the month where you really make a mark, where you see actually it's possible. You may not move out straight away in September because I feel more October energy for you, but finally you're finding places and finding money, and it's all aligning for you, where suddenly you can move out and have your own space. So congratulations if that's you. For example, some of you may feel like there's micromanaging going on in your working environment, and suddenly, your boss, you may not see it, but intuitively you know that they're not happy where they're at. They may suddenly leave, which opens up a nicer environment, and you may even be talked to regarding filling their role. If you're an entrepreneur, I feel this could be that, you are intuitively tapping into the trends of your industry and cornering a niche, or, finding a hole in the market because, you just feel intuitively that is something that people want or people need at this time. And you are going to set yourself up for a win there as well. Now, this card is number 13. That is the death card energy. That's change. Everything changes. Seasons change, people change, environments change. Change is actually the one constant that occurs in our life. So this is about being flexible with change. I feel there is an energy here of you being a little bit more sociable, because birds represent society. So if you felt a little bit lonely, because solitariness, there's a difference between being solitary and being lonely, of course. But if you feel like you've dipped into feeling a bit lonely and you're searching for your soul tribe, because your 7th house makes you want to connect to people. It can be that you're going to do a hobby, something for you, right there, and actually you find people who align with you. There's a couple of people who really do align with you, and there may be one person that you'll see occasionally that, you know, you don't spend all of your time with, but I do feel like you find a circle of friends or a group of people that you really align with, and they are your people, right? So this could be through a hobby or a community event there, or even at a place of worship or a place where you celebrate your faith there too. But this card, it says desert, okay? Now, if you can see here, I feel this is about you looking at challenging situations. If you think about the desert, that is a very austere environment. You know, economically and in terms of world events right now, there is a lot of challenge going on. Deserts are challenging environments, and yet you are going to thrive. You are someone who is going to do really well in this. I mean, if you're going through a challenging thing in your family right now, or a challenging experience in your neighborhood, or even in your work, I feel like you make it work. You are the sort of person who will kind of like command respect, or in some way find a way to branch out or shine your light and make it better in some way. So that's definitely coming through on this card and this energy. I mean, it is number 13, as I said, and this is a card that indicates that, you know, sometimes we need alone time, and this is a very busy card. So it can be like dip in, spend time with people, spend time in crowds if you want to. I mean, sometimes it gets a little bit too peoply out there. So you may go and say, okay, the balance is, because you are looking at balance and reciprocity in your life. This is about spending alone time, going off and doing crafts just for you. You know, if your favorite pastime is tinkering on a bicycle or a motorcycle, then spend time doing that. That gives you peace of mind. It helps you like really focus and be present. If your favorite pastime is submerging yourself in painting or pottery, do that. Sometimes we need to go off and do our own thing, and that's okay. But I would say as well that with this Two of Pentacles, this is about balance, but it also is about harmony, and you being a person who emanates love, peace, and harmony. But let's make it practical, because the Two of Pentacles can indicate that, you know, you are juggling. There's a lot of things going on. You're paying your bills on time. You know, you're focused on your projects. You may be doing second streams of income, or that would give you peace of mind to know that you have a backup plan there. I feel like you won't really need your backup plan, but it will just help you advance, because there's a lot of advancement and success. It's almost like you are aligning yourself or in the planning stages of something that will align you with the success there. But the Two of Pentacles indicates that your money will fluctuate. That's just life. You know, easy come, easy go. So, you know, money will come in, you pay the bills, do all the stuff, do repayment plans and things like that. But of course, the Eight of Pentacles indicates you will actually be able to save a little bit of money for you as well, because 8 is the number of the self. So you will be thinking of your financial future and connect to things like interest rates with, you know, certain financial institutions that get better with interest rates. There's not many out there, of course, I'm sure. But, you know, with that Eight of Pentacles, you're building. So I feel like you're building on your plans. You're building on what you have already. It's a slow moving process, but there is progress there, okay? Eight of Pentacles is also you kind of like downloading courses, investing in yourself, maybe even taking yourself away for a day out, or, you know, a little trip or an excursion somewhere. That is investing in self. So I feel a lot of you, because the first house is governing you, you're thinking of ways to invest in yourself. Creative ways, practical ways, you know, even going on a weekly shop by yourself. Sometimes it's like, oh, it just feels like a breath of fresh air to get away from the structure. I mean, I got to be honest with you, this month is about routine. It's about having a repetitive cycle, or looking at your commitments, things that you're dedicated to, and just staying on top of those things. Doesn't mean that nothing is really happening, because I feel like there is some news that helps you advance, but it feels like it's something that's a little bit later on, but you see a milestone of it this month. Also, my guides are giving me this energy of like real estate. So it could be that you're putting in a lot of effort to save for real estate, or rent, for example, or even a new opportunity or more money becomes available to you to do some DIY around the house, or, you know, restructure things. So I feel there's an energy there of like decluttering, reorganizing. That's what the 8 is all about as well. It's like you're building through dedication. You're working really hard. You're putting things in motion, and they will come full circle back to you. Success from past efforts as well. So if you have second streams of income, there could be like royalties or rebates coming in there. Even if you don't, if you work for yourself, there could be rebates. For some of you, I feel this is about fluctuations in finances. So there could be a small increase if you work in a company coming through. But yeah, this is all about what you're connected to this month, and basically maintaining and sustaining, saving for a trip. I mean, for some of you, if you're lucky enough, there could be a spiritual retreat that you're working towards. Yeah, you have a lot of connection energy because of the 7th house. It's so relevant for you because of the eclipses. But we have divine connection, number 200 there. This may be relevant, a number that you'll see, but it says here, your angel beckons you to connect with the divine force within you, to discover your life purpose, and to fulfill your soul mission. You are a unique expression of the divine and are imbued with the strength to conquer any obstacle that comes your way, and have the capabilities to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. That's why that big message came out earlier. You know, you have the strength and the capability to overcome any obstacles and do something you've always dreamed of. Other people may be like naysayers or even haters, but that gives you the fuel that you need to move forward. We've also got trust. Trust the process. Sometimes things or people fall away, paths become clearer. You know, these changes happen for a reason. Must trust the process. It says, embrace each experience with gratitude, for every moment and every decision holds a deeper meaning. So you're looking at the deeper meaning right now. Like, what was the meaning of that sentence? Why did they say that? Why did we argue about this? What's really going on? People rarely argue about what they're arguing about. There's normally a deeper meaning or something that's been building up over time. So you're questioning all of that this month. Very philosophical. It says, for every moment and decision holds a deeper meaning and serves to align you with your ultimate destiny. Trust that there is a guiding hand at work, that's your 6 of Swords right there, shaping your journey. No matter which path you choose, you will always be guided home. That's the perfect kind of card to sum up your reading. Wherever you feel like you're being guided right now, you're being guided home to self, but also being guided home to the destination point that you see as success. So whether you're hitting the gym and you're trying to make headway on your health, I feel like you meet yourself head on there and you make a difference, you make an impact, whether it's success in career or, you know, in personal development as well. A lot of you are kind of trying to learn more about yourself and what you really want in life. You're soul searching, and you will find your way to where you feel like you need to be. Also, we have interconnectedness. So that's about all the things you connect to. Everything is connected. Every conversation, every experience, it leads you to the present moment and also informs your future. It says, we are woven together by the divine threads of the consciousness, love and energy, manifesting our interconnectedness. Be mindful of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, as they have the power to ripple out into the world and impact all that is connected to you and us. Embrace the oneness that pervades all of creation. Interesting. That's the duality of you and duality of life. Everything is connected and everything informs the things that we connect to. Thoughts really do become things. You know, everything filters out. Words are literally spellings. They're spelled and they are cast out to the universe to connect to vibrations of the things that you want for your future. So always visualize yourself like you have it right now. I am successful. I am loved. These are things that are present right now. See the vision of what you want as if you're living it right now. Be grateful for it. Be thankful for it. And actually, you're attached to that vibration. And as I said, your future self thanks you for all that you do this month. Oh, interesting. Now, what just popped out there was a snake. This is the year of the snake, so it means you're required to be flexible through all these changes. A lot of you may be detoxifying as well because the snake connects to detoxification. Can be that you are, taking a little bit more hydration than usual as well. Some of you may even be looking at parasite cleanses. That just came up there. My guys just mentioned that. But the snake is shedding old skin so that you can rebirth. There's a new you here. And this is you connecting to all that you aspire to achieve. We also have a tower. Now, this is a tower of power, of course. It's really interesting because this is the Eiffel Tower, right? But what I'm seeing right now, I wish you could see what I can see. I'm seeing a tower, and at the top, it's like a radio frequency that I can see. You know, I think old radio towers used to be kind of like built like this with a frequency there. So this could be you raising your frequency, okay, connecting to vibrations of things that you want to communicate or you want to achieve. But also, some of you may be traveling to Paris or France or to somewhere in Europe, for example, and that could be relevant because you're traveling there. Maybe some minor delays. I feel like you may get a small amount of compensation for that if it tips over the time there. But also, this is about structure. You know, something that you're building. You're going to reach the very top of it. That's what I'm getting. You are that tower of power. Now, towers can be radical change. But also, it is about frequencies elevating to basically eradicate anything that is inauthentic or not true or not sustainable. So this is about you breaking down things that are not working for you to build back better. That's what I'm seeing there as well, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Pisceans. If you'd like to be with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put an emoji of a candle in the comments box below. And if you don't have access to a candle, just write the word candle. My guides will bring me to a person's name. It has to be a subscriber because, unfortunately, I cannot find anyone's name unless you're subscribed. The YouTube algorithm has changed, and something has happened where if you type in a name, if it's not on my subscriber list, then I can't access it for some weird reason. I'm not sure why. I'm not just trying to get like sneaky subscribers. To subscribe is free. Okay, you can just press the subscribe button there. And if you don't win this time around and you're like, you know what, I don't want to try again, you just unsubscribe. Okay, I'm not trying to get subscribers. It literally is in order for me to find your name to give you that reading, okay? I will announce the winner at the end of September there as well. So thank you so much, my beautiful Pisceans, and love and light.